Hi guys, welcome to Vlogmas Day 18, and in this video I decided to show you some of my favorite I've decided to show you guys some of my favorite books, both a little bit of a twist to keep it Christmas related, in the spirit of Vlogmas. I've decided that I'm gonna show you my favorite books that spell out Christmas. I thought it would be a little fun to do. So yeah, that's what this video is gonna be about, and I hope you enjoy it. And let's get into it. Okay, so jumping right into it, for the letter C, it's kind of it's my all-time favorite book series of all time. I guess that's the same thing. It is the Chronicles of Exia series by Maria V. Snyder. As you can tell, this is my favorite series. I got 2 different copies of it. This was my first edition that I picked up, and I really liked it. The only problem is they only have the first and the second book in this version. They don't have the third one, but it was kind of sad about that. But anyways, that's a whole nother topic. So anyways, I thought I would read the back to all the books, like the summaries, synopsis, whatever you call them. So anyways, it is the book number 1, Poison Study, and the back says, "How much is your life worth?" In the territory of Exia, control is maintained through the code of behavior, forbidding the practice of magic, but danger lurks in mysterious places. Imprisoned for murder, Yelena Zartana's punishment is death, unless she accepts the position of the commander of Exia's food taster and risks assassination from Poison Daily. In a world where magic equals death and freedom is for the lucky few, the battle for Yelena's life has just begun. So, I highly, highly, highly recommend this series. It's 6 books in total. I can't say enough good things about this series. It is very underrated. Not a lot of people know about it, but it should definitely be on everybody's shelf. I love this series so much. Okay, moving on. For H, we have another one of my all-time favorites. It was my favorite growing up. It's more of a middle grade book, but I used to pick it up every what am I trying to say? In school, everybody knows the Scholastic Book Fairs that we used to have, and I would always eagerly get the paper and enthusiastically look for or hope that there was a new book in this series in it, and there always was, and that started it. I got most of these books from the Scholastic Book Fair. So anyways, without further ado, it is the Heartland series by Lauren Brooke. A lot of you may know Heartland. It's become a new TV show. It has 15 seasons, anything, but it all started with the book for me, and it'll always have a special place in my heart. And okay. Heartland is a horse farm nestled in the hills of Virginia, but it's much more than that. Heartland is like no other place. It's a place where the scars of the past can be healed, a place where frightened and abused horses learn to trust again. Amy calls Heartland home, and ever since she can remember, she's watched her mom instill trust and hope in horses that were once fierce and afraid. And Amy's inherited her mother's gift, the ability to listen to horses and understand what they need. But when a tragic accident changes everything, Amy must cling to what her mother taught her. She must truly believe miracles can happen at Heartland. And indeed they do. One of my favorite series. I mean, could probably read the entire series in a day, just, you know, if I had the time, because I'll, like, look at that. But, yeah, only, like, holy crap, only 10 chapters. Holy shit. Anyways, that is 8. And then, for R, I picked The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. And yeah, and I'll read the summary for this one. Okay. There are only 2 reasons a non-seer would see a spirit on St. Mark's Eve. Either you're his true love, or you killed him. Every year, Blue Sergeant stands next to her clairvoyant mother as the soon-to-be-dead walk past. Blue never sees them, until this year when a boy emerges from the dark and speaks to her. His name is Gansey, and he's a rich student at Aglaimby, the local private school. Blue has a policy of staying away from Aglaimby boys, known as the Raven Boys. They can only mean trouble. But Blue is drawn to Gansey in a way she can't entirely explain. He is on a quest that has encompassed 3 other Raven Boys. Adam, the scholarship student who resents the privilege around him. Ronan, the fierce soul whose emotions range from anger to despair. And Noah, the taciturn watcher who notices many things but says very little. For as long as she can remember, Blue has been warned that she'll cause her true love to die. She doesn't believe in true love and never thought this would be a problem. But as her life becomes caught up in the strange and sinister world of the Raven Boys, she's not so sure anymore. From Maggie Stiefvater, the best-selling and acclaimed author of the Shrivel Trilogy and the Scorpio Races, comes a spellbinding new series where the inevitability of death and the nature of love lead us to a place we've never been before. So, yeah, it's definitely different-ish. So the supernatural feel that, you know, I love. But, yeah. So that was R. And then next up is I. And for I chose the first book in the Iron Fae series, The Iron King, and it by Julie Kagawa. Yeah, this is probably my second ever series my second ever book about fairies that I've read. And also, this was like back years ago, and it's still one of my favorites. I still think about it often, and yeah. So yeah, I'll read the back, and the little tagline right here is "Eye on Ice, a love doomed from the start," and it's definitely one that I know. There's a whole bunch of other like fairy series, but this one's come up with a new element to the fairies that no other fairy books have come across, and I found it very interesting. And there's a couple of things on the back. My name is Megan Chase. In less than 24 hours, I'll be 16. Countless stories, songs, and poems have been written about this wonderful age, when a girl finds true love and the stars shine for her, and the handsome prince carries her off into the sunset. I don't think it'll be that way for me. Megan Chase has a secret destiny, one she could never have imagined. Something has always felt slightly off in Megan's life ever since her father disappeared before her eyes when she was 6. She has never quite fit in at school or at home. When a dark stranger begins watching her from afar, and her prankster best friend becomes strangely protective of her, Megan senses that everything she's known is about to change. But she could never have guessed the truth, that she is the daughter of a mythical fairy king and is a pawn in a deadly war. Now Megan will learn just how far she'll go to save someone she cares about, to stop a mysterious evil no fairy creature dare face, and to find love with a young prince who might rather see her dead than let her touch his icy heart. So, yeah, fantasy elements, forbidden love. Who can't fall in love with this series? Okay, and the next we have is S, and this is another one of my favorite series. I'm super happy that I was able to include it in this list. It was one of my first books venturing into the young adult fantasy section, and again, it's a small size book, so you could probably read a couple of them like really fast. But for S, I chose the Sweep series by Kate Tiernan, and this is the first book, Book of Shadows. So as you guessed it, it's about magic. It's about witches. One of my first, I believe, was my first book that I picked up in the young adult fantasy section, like as I transitioned away from middle grade books. Not that there's anything wrong with middle grade books, but yeah. And so it's just a small little blurb on the back. But anyways, something is happening to me that I don't understand. I see things, feel things in a new way. I can do things normal people can't do. Powerful things. Magical things. It scares me. I never chose to learn witchcraft, but I'm starting to wonder if witchcraft is choosing me. So, and it's a pretty long series, but like I said, the books are like all relatively this size, so you can probably get through them fast. And again, not a lot of, it's an older book. It was, I think it came out like in the 2001. So it's an older book series, but still a good one. One of my favorites. Next, can't pick it up. Next is T, and I think most of you will be familiar with this series. It is the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I just hit myself in the face with the book. And this is the first book in the series, and I've only recently started reading the series. I believe I've read the first 3 books. I haven't read the rest, but I'm enjoying the series. It's, yeah. And the first book has a lot of similar elements to the Chronicles of Exia series, Poison Study. The first 2 books, both. Okay, what am I trying to say? Both the first books in both series, honestly, they have like the very similar. So, if you like the Throne of Glass series, I'm sure you'll like the Poison Study, and vice versa. Yeah. So, anyways, the back says, 2 men love her. The whole land fears her. Only she can save them all. In a world without magic, an assassin is summoned to the castle. She comes not to kill the vicious king who rules from his throne of glass, but to win her freedom. If she defeats 23 killers, thieves, and warriors in a competition, she will be released from prison to serve as the king's champion. Her name is Selena Sardathian. The crown prince will provoke her, the captain of the guard will protect her, and a princess from a faraway land will befriend her. but something evil dwells in the castle and is there to kill. When her competitors start dying one by one, Selena's fate for freedom becomes a fight for survival and a desperate quest to root out the evil before it destroys her world. So definitely, I really enjoyed this series, so I think it's a must read. Next is M, and for M, I'm pretty sure most people are familiar with the series too. I chose the Mortal M Instrument series by Cassandra Clare. This is the first book, City of Bones. I'm sure most people are familiar with this series, but anyways. When Claire Frey heads out to the Pandemonium Club in New York City, she hardly expects to witness a murder, much less a murder committed by 3 teenagers covered with odd markings. This is Clary's first meeting with the Shadow Hunters, warriors dedicated to ridding the earth of demons and keeping the odd werewolves and vampires in line. It's also her first meeting with gorgeous golden-haired Chase. Within 24 hours, Clary is pulled into Chase's world with a vengeance when her mother disappears and Clary herself is attacked by a demon. But why would demons be interested in an ordinary mundane like Clary, and how did she suddenly get the sight? The Shadowhunters would like to know. So, yeah, I don't think there's much more I need to say about this series. Most people already know it. And then, coming down, I have 2 more books. Coming down to the end, guys. Okay, so for A, I chose A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Again, the same author who wrote the Throne of Glass series. And I actually picked up this series before I picked up Throne of Glass. And if I had to choose between the 2 series, I would choose this one. I guess one. So, anyways, the back is... Okay. She stole a life, now she must pay with her heart. When 19-year-old huntress Farah kills a wolf in the woods, a beast-like creature arrives to demand retribution. Dragged to a treacherous magical land that she knows about only from legends, Farah discovers that her captor is not an animal but Tamlin, one of the lethal immortal fairies who once ruled the world. As Farah dwells on his estate, her feelings for Tamlin transform from icy hostility to a fiery passion that burns through every lie and warning she's been told about the beautiful, dangerous world of the Fae. But an ancient, wicked shadow over the fairylands is growing, and Farah must find a way to stop it, or doom Tamlin and his world forever. From New York Times and USA Today best-selling author Sarah J. Maas comes a seductive, breathtaking new book that blends romance, adventure, and fairy lore into her most unforgettable story yet. So, yeah, definitely my favorite book series from her. Between this one and Throne of Glass, I would definitely choose this one hands down. So, yeah. And then lastly, S, we have Shiva by Maggie Stiefvater. This was my very first book from her. It's about werewolves. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I probably definitely picked this one over the Raven Boys. Mostly, I mean, it was my first and I kind of have a special spot in it. So anyways, and it's different. The Cord. Grace has spent years watching the wolves in the woods behind our house. One yellow-eyed wolf, her wolf, watches back. He feels deeply familiar to her, but she doesn't know why. The Heat. Sam has lived 2 lives. As a wolf, he keeps the silent company of the god he loves, and then for a short time each year, he is human, never daring to talk to Grace until now. The Shiva. For Grace and Sam, love has always been kept at a distance, but once it's spoken, it cannot be denied. Sam must fight to stay human, and Grace must fight to keep him, even if it means taking on the scars of the past, the fragility of the present, and the impossibility of the future. So, I definitely love this series. It's okay. So that was it for this fun little favorite books Christmas edition video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys want to try this out, you feel free. You can send me your videos. I would like to watch them if you guys want to do this idea too. Yeah. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below anything you want. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. Definitely have enjoying like actually giving you guys content, and hopefully I can continue uploading on a regular basis in the new year. So anyways, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.